right. Welcome everybody to another BDA Boxing transmission. This is a special transmission. The Quags, Koran Bread, Carlero de la Info, Triple JJ, Brandon White, thank you for being on board. The Quags is asking, where is everybody? Well, I don't think they know that we are having an impromptu stream here. But this is just a quick stream because I want to really catch up on a lot of the things that we are seeing in regards to Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs. Also, I want to take some calls, but the system's not up at the moment. And plus, I don't know if people can even hear us on the phone calls or on the Hangouts because some of the little slight, we move some things around in the system. So we got to fix them until we can take calls again. But we're going to be taking calls again probably this week, obviously, because we're going to preview Canelo versus Jacobs, the big fight on Saturday. Interesting thing, though, I mentioned that it's a big fight, yet I don't know about you guys, but I don't see that much hype for this fight. It's almost as if there's no hype at all. And I've been hearing some people complaining about it. So obviously there's something. Maybe it's because it's not pay-per-view anymore. You know what I mean? It's the zone. So technically you have to pay to watch it, but it's not a one-off event. The undercard also isn't all that great. I did not watch the ceremonial walk-ins or whatever the fuck they call it. So there is that. I care more about the actual fight, but we're going to get into that a little bit. Some of the shenanigans that we might expect. For the moment, I just want to read real quick what people are saying in the chat room. Brandon White says Jacobs should approach Alvarez the same way he did to Quillen in the first round. Shout out to Bend Over. Triple JJ says, where's Johnny been? Is he still passed out drunk from his birthday or what? He might be coming back though from that because there were some things he said in the chat, in the Hangouts that intimated that he might be away from for a while, but I think everything's all right from the last update. We'll see if he comes on the Hangout. We'll talk to him about it. I hope everything's all right. Brandon White says, terrible promotion for this fight. It seems that way, doesn't it? I mean, I'm trying to really grasp the hype. I mean, you compare it to other Canelo fights, there really seems to be very little hype on this one. Then again, maybe it's because he did fight Gennady Golovkin back-to-back, the biggest middleweight fight at the moment. So maybe this pales in comparison. Guerrero de la Info, shout out to Guerrero, says Jacob should, but he might sell out and just box cautiously. Oh, he's referring to what Brandon White said about coming out guns blazing. Barry Hearn, LDBC slave owner, says 78 didn't obey orders, so I got him demonetized. What? Guerrero de la Info says Canelo is short. Koran Bread says it's a rigged fight. We all know it. The best Daniel Jacobs can hope for is for a controversial loss, even if he's KO'd. Even if he KO'd Canelo, he's still going to get DQ'd. Yeah, that's the old joke. Remember what back in Germany, you had to win to get a draw? I think a lot of people are expecting that for this fight. Then again, you never know. Nothing's set in stone. But certainly the odds for Daniel Jacobs to get a decision in this fight don't seem all that high. So let's get right down to it, guys. The reason why I did this little impromptu podcast, this transmission, is because we're going to be talking later on when we do another podcast. I don't think we're going to do it today because I'm trying to do it quickly. I'm very good at doing things quickly. That's what my girlfriend says. You do things too quickly. I said, fuck, bitch. I go at my own pace. You don't like it? Find yourself another dick. But the point is, I want to talk about some of the shenanigans that are going on in this fight. But first, I want to get to a couple of things real quick. Real quick, all right? Apparently, everybody's favorite son, the fortunate son, you might say, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. Look at him. He says he's coming back. He's eyeing a June 22nd return. And guess what, guys? He's vowing a serious approach this time. Because, he was never serious before. I mean, he would often say it, just like he is now, that he's going to be serious this time. He's going to train hard and he's going to make his papa proud. Papi Chavez, make him proud. Because, hey, he gave him a high life with all the money he made from boxing. So he wants to pay back his father by being a good fighter. Problem is, he's been at this for about, 15 years? And his only saving grace is that he almost KO'd the metrosexual Sergio Martinez. So it says, after 2 years of inactivity, former world champion Julio Chavez Jr., former world champion, is planning to return on a tentative date of June the 22nd. Note the even number here. We're going to get to that, the occult ramifications later on. The last time Chavez Jr. saw action, he was dominated over 12 rounds by Canelo Alvarez back in May of 2016. It was May of 2017. Who wrote this article? Osiris Mendez. Oh, Cyrus, what did I tell you about the occult undertones? And Chavez Jr. says, I've been out of boxing for 2 years. I've seen boxing from the inside and from the outside. I'll have another chance, but I have to take things seriously. There can be no more carelessness. No more. No longer a young man, or I can do things that I should not do. I have faith that if I come back strong, I will soon get a big fight. so, so Chavez Jr., Chiquito, as I like to call him, he knows which side of the bread is buttered for him. He knows all he has to do is get a couple of wins, maybe a couple of knockout wins over some bums. Yes, I said bums. And he'll be right back in line for a big old payday. Who that payday will come against, I don't know. Maybe it might be one of the Charlos. Maybe he's looking for that Martinez Circus rematch that they were talking about a couple of weeks ago. You never know with Chavez Jr. Maybe a rematch with Canelo. The Quack says, I think Canelo knocks him out. Oh, he's talking about Jacobs. We'll get to that. Jose Lopez says, we don't want him to come back. Speaking of Chavez. Coran Brez says, Chavez must be short on Kush. Jose Lopez says, short on Kush and French fries. Endgame says, Bucho, is that you? Who are you talking to? This is BDA. Jose Lopez says, fries. Got a little bit of info says that OG Kush is running low. Hey, if you're smoking it every day, it can get costly. And Tricks. Oh, yes, don't forget, he's eating Tricks in the morning, wearing nothing but his hot pink undies. That's the way Chavez Jr. does it. He doesn't fuck around. Young Kim, that dream says, homie is looking for another payday. The Quack says, Jr. is worthless. Endgame says, BDA Boxing. Yeah, I'm kidding, dude. All right. The Quack says, the Mexican fans are out of their minds for supporting that fat slob. He's a bum. Jason Bourne says, what's up, Bucho? I mean, BDA. Oh, come on. You motherfuckers are going to start with me today? This early? It should be late, rather, because it is already rather late to start a podcast. But yeah, you guys have it right. He's probably running short on money. He probably doesn't have anything to do. I bet you he doesn't have anything going on in his life right now, other than his family. But he's got no hobby, nothing to look forward to, nothing that gives him meaning in life. That marijuana can only do so much for you. And I do believe that Chavez Jr. wants to come back because he has nothing else to do. He's been training, apparently, in Tijuana, along with well-known coach Romulo Quirarte, with whom he worked with a few years ago. I'm in a stage of maturity, says Chavez Jr. Yeah, listen, the only thing mature about him is like a mature peach. Or a pear, rather. He's fat, curvy, and soft, and we don't want to see him. Anyway, he says, I have to fight 3 times this year. He wants to fight 3 times. My goodness. My return is scheduled on June the 22nd. Let's see if he can even make weight for whatever fucking fight he wants. But we are looking ahead. I don't want my career to go away. I'm at the right time to come back with everything. Physically, I feel better. If I train well, I think I might have everything to be a world champion again. It's all about disciplining myself, taking things seriously, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. And this goes for everybody out there. Chat room, regulars, panelists, whatever. You watch this fight, you're a real fucking scumbag. You're a fool. All right? Because first of all, Chavez Jr. is not even an entertaining fighter. He throws 4 punches and then he takes a break for about a minute and he comes back, regains his fat breath because his fat lungs can't handle the pace. And then he throws another 4 punches and he goes on like that way throughout the whole fight. Sometimes he gets lucky and he can stop his opponents. Sometimes he can't stop them and he gets a gift on the scorecards. The point is, this man is not entertaining. He's not worthy of our attention. And I dare say that I would like him to go away into a forest somewhere, big dark forest, build a cabin there, and not come back. That's how I feel about him. This is rough BDA, by the way, speaking. This is as bad as I'm going to get, all right? So just know that. Shepherd Zon, shout out to Shepherd, says, a late show? What trickery is this? No trickery, my friend. Only the word of God as best as I can spread it to the unwashed masses. So that's it for Chavecito. We don't want to see him anymore. But he's determined to come back and torment us with his boring fights, his lack of discipline, and his fat physique. Anyway, moving on to another piece of news, and again from boxing scene. Russell Jr., he who fights once a year, the sleeping bear, says, I doubt Santa Cruz promoters and even Al Heyman want me. He's throwing Al Heyman under the bus. Let's see what he has to say first. Russell told Boxing Scene over the weekend that Heyman has delivered on every promise he has ever made to the WBC featherweight champ, but Russell is beginning to think that even Heyman, who runs the PBC, doesn't want him to fight Leo Santa Cruz. Man, I doubt that Leo. I doubt that the promoters, and I'm actually starting to doubt that even Al wants to see that fight happen, Russell said, because they know once it happens, they know what the encore gonna be. All right. I don't even know if that's how Russell Jr. fights, but I mean, talks. But now, is this a strategy, guys? Is he trying to make it seem as if him and Al Heyman are having a bit of strife to make his point? Or is he really starting to get pissed off with Al Heyman? I doubt that he's getting pissed with Al Heyman because Heyman has given him the cushy option of fighting once a year while getting paid well. Russell Jr. is going to be fighting Kiko Martinez, 39-8. If you remember, Kiko Martinez has been beaten by every top fighter he's fought, and I don't see him doing any differently against Gary Russell Jr., who, to his credit, is sitting down on his punches a lot more, being more entertaining. If only he could fight more than once a year. That would be pretty nice. BDA Boxing Russell Endgame says BDA Boxing Russell is still butthurt about Lomachenko. Look, he went 12 rounds with Lomachenko, stood up to him, couldn't quite pull off the win. I see nothing wrong with that, but from all indications, from what people have been saying in this podcast, is that it's him, it is he that does not want to fight more than twice a year. And he beat Jojo Diaz, fantastic. But other than that, why would he think that Santa Cruz is afraid of him? And of course, there's people saying that Santa Cruz avoided Guillermo Rigondeaux, and they will still continue saying. Now, for that, let's go to the cesspool, the dumpster fire that is the boxing scene message board. And by the way, let's play a little game, guys. I'm going to go into the comment section for this article. Let's predict how many posts we can get through before somebody in that black hole we call the boxing scene forum starts bringing up the race card or any mention of race. Let's see. All right, so Ghost of Dempsey is the first poster. He says, I like Gary. He's highly skilled and entertaining, but he only fights once per year. It's hard to get excited about a guy who isn't a blip on the radar. He's squandering his prime. Then Boxing Logic says, remember my rule, guys. Anytime somebody has a name like Boxing Logic or Boxing Facts or Boxing Intellect or shit like that, it's like they're trying to project they're very smart. Oh, look at how smart I am. I'm logical. I'm unbiased. What do you see in my name? Boxing Debate Arena. No pretension. Not lying to you. Not telling you I'm smarter than you. I doubt that I'm smarter than anybody in the hangout or in the chat room. But I tell it like it is sometimes. Yes, I try to straddle the fence sometimes. Try to be as fair as I can be to fighters. But I'm not gonna fucking stick the word logic, unbiased, or whatever the fuck else these people put on their name. Not gonna happen. So this guy says, it's Santa Cruz versus Rigondeaux all over again. Leo said that Al even told him that no fan would be happy to see Santa Cruz versus Rigo back then as a way to convince Leo not to fight. Something which, of course, was a lie. Is Al lying to his fighters as a way to steer them away from the best fights for the most money and towards what benefits him instead? Marcus Brown also claims that he was told that Beterbiev didn't even want to fight him, and that's why he didn't fight Beterbiev for the belt. All right, first of all, Beterbiev is going to be fighting a guy this Friday who gave Marcus Brown a very tough fight. Held him to a split decision. Now, I'm doing a boxer thing there because I haven't seen the fight yet. But to say that Beterbiev, who's a fucking monster, is scared of Marcus Brown? See, this is the thing about modern boxing. Everybody's obsessed. It's like the rap industry. Everybody talking over each other. He's avoiding me. No, he's avoiding me. Little girls, man. Little fucking girls. Gossiping. They should all wear skirts. All these fucking people, they should all wear skirts. Not every fighter, of course, but you get what I'm saying. Oh. All right, so Big Stump says, finally a black fighter who's keeping it real and speaks facts. All right, so that was what? 2 posts before somebody brought up the race issue? All right, there we go. Nice to see that. See, people always say, "Oh, BDA and his cohorts in the hangout in the chat, they always bring up race." I hadn't brought up race since I started this podcast, and I only introduced it because somebody else, an outside party, introduced it 22 minutes into the podcast. All right, so the game's over, guys. Game's over. Somebody brought up race. What are people saying in the chat room? Neto, shout out to Neto, says the whole PBC dogged Rigo. Yeah, it seems like from what people say, the whole world dogged Rigo now. Triple JJ says it's the exact opposite. Carnival, aka Precise, shout out to Precise, is boxing expert, super duper guy, #1 killer. Jason Bourne says Loma has great skills, but not as good as of a resume. The Fight Scout says, ha ha ha, nobody dogged Rigo. Chin Yellow Farmer says Loma is not a bum, but he's being overly hyped. You don't know shit about boxing, says Precise. If you think Loma is overhyped, there is no better boxer right now. Who's better than Loma? And the Fight Cow says Usyk. Quack says Loma, the biggest hype job in boxing. All southpaws should be drowned at birth. And so on and so forth. So you see people always already. This is what I hate about boxing in relation to the Gary Russell Jr. Los Santa Cruz thing is, instead of people saying, all right, who's going to win that fight? People are talking about, in the boxing scene forum anyway, they're talking about who's avoiding who. Well, I don't know. Santa Cruz just fought a guy, a tune-up, in his last fight. Russell Jr., who only fights once a year, is taking a tune-up. Why? I have no clue. And they're talking about avoiding each other. I mean, come on. This is the state of boxing, guys. This is the state of boxing. This is the best fight to make at 126 right now. And they're talking about this guy's avoiding me. No, that guy's no, he's avoiding me. No, I'm avoiding him. No, my mother wants to fuck him. I don't know what's going on. And then again, I jump to page #2 on the thread and look at this. The guy is definitely a racist who hates black people and anyone else who doesn't get on the. All right, come on. Jesus, you see what I tell you? These boxing scene forums, you allow. This is why we don't try to allow too many people on the hangouts anymore. Just the people that we've got now, because you start allowing way too many people, and statistically, the law probability is that you're going to let in a bunch of undesirables, people who just turn everything into a shit fest. This is already turning into a shit fest thanks to me. Only I can do that, so we don't need any more. All right. Now, moving on to another piece of news here, real quickly. Same boxing scene. Amir Khan probably deserves a little less scorn after quitting, says Michael Rosenthal. Michael Rosenthal. Now, he used to write for Ring Magazine or Ring TV. I don't know if he's still there. But he's writing an article defending Amir Khan. That he should be allowed to essentially get away with what he did. But as people in the chat, in the message board are pointing out, see, some people in the message board do have common sense. They say sorry, but his reaction to Brook quitting versus Spence is a much more serious situation, warrants the reaction he is getting now. He smiled and flat out called Brook a quitter on TV following the fight. Guys, I need someone of you, please, to confirm what Khan's reaction was to Brook quitting against... Well, technically, Brook didn't quit. His corner stopped the fight because he had a broken bone and he was getting the shit kicked out of him. So can anybody tell me how Khan reacted or what he said following Brook quitting? I mean, getting stopped against Golovkin or against Errol Spence too. Oh, because I think he's talking about... Yeah, he said it's Spence, not Golovkin. So if Khan indeed did lambaste, I don't know how you spell it in English, pronounce it rather. If he did indeed make fun of Brook for quitting against Spence, then Khan should shut his mouth and say, listen, I didn't want any of what Crawford was bringing, and I quit, flat out. Look, I've put on some better performances in the past, I've showed my balls, and this time I decided to call it a day. Just do that. But the fact that he made fun of Brook for that, he's a hypocrite. And probably a pussy, too. The Shepherd's Son says, all right, He said that Brooke proposed to Spence. Oh, because he kneeled. The Quack says Khan would quit too, but he usually gets knocked the fuck out first. That's a good point, right there. Yeah, little info says Khan was getting better and better, and I think Crawford got a bit frustrated. He was gonna get iced. He was gonna get iced, just like he always does. They should call Khan the Iceman, because he's always getting iced. All right, so that was just my little surfing there on the internet regarding the other things that are going on. I want to talk real quick, and then maybe if anybody wants to come on just for a if anybody wants to come on now while we do the commentating, because I want to show a couple of things regarding Canelo and Jacobs and some things that have been draining my enthusiasm for this fight away from me regarding the judges and the weight issues and the weight classes and all the other strange stuff that goes on in the land of Las Vegas. So if any of you want to come on, give me a shout out on Hangouts or on the chat room, and I'll send you the invite, and we can talk a little bit about this. But real quick, what the hell is this? Watch this. This is Canelo's Instagram page, and here he is on his way. Or I mean, I think this was before when he was on his way to Las Vegas. What the hell is he wearing? He's wearing a one-piece outfit, it would seem. Bizarre attire, to say the least. It's got pandas all over the place. He's looking at the camera with that smug little look on his face, like, yeah, I'm wearing this. What the fuck are you gonna do about it? And he's wearing some sort of weird, white, pristine shoes, space shoes, as I like to call them. You know that scene in 2001: A Space Odyssey when they're on the spaceship and the stewardesses are wearing some sort of weird anti-gravity shoes. This is what it looks like. What the hell's he doing? And look at the comments. Super cute, my cinnamon roll, says Mighty as Als. Liz Romo says que bonita ropa, which means what beautiful clothes. Must be a girl. All right. Some people are making fun of him. Te admiro, brother, which means I admire you. And this guy goes, all right, Canelo, yeah, a lot of money and all that, but what the hell are you wearing? And why is there a rose in your drink? Yeah, can you see he's got a cup of coffee? I don't know if it's coffee or not, but it seems like some sort of hot drink. And he's got a glass with a rose there. What the fuck is he doing? And he guys goes, come on, man, what the fuck are you doing? So that's Canelo's Instagram page. And he's got 4.7 million followers watching him with that weird attire. Speaking of weird attire and Instagram pages, we've got Oscar De La Hoya's Instagram page as well. And here he is giving a message about he was on his way to Vegas when he recorded this. He's telling people to get ready for the big fight. But then again, speaking about the lack of hype for this fight, some guy goes, this is the first, no, he's not the first comment, sorry, but he says, stop lying, for real. For me, it's been zero hype, but I still knew, and you definitely can't even feel it. The zone has ruined it for everybody. I mean, I don't know if it's ruined the fucking hype, but I just don't feel the hype either. I gotta be honest with you. I mean, I'm looking forward to the fight, but it's true that it's you. I don't know. Maybe it's because I haven't been scouting the message boards all that much. And then there's this guy Chingon661 says, "I'll wait and watch it on YouTube." And it even seems as if De La Hoya read that comment. Look at his face. That's the face of a guy who just got told, "I'm gonna watch this fight for free." Fuck you. What are people saying in the chat room? The Fight Scout says it's a glass of clenbuterol. Johnny at the court. All right, Johnny Boy's in the chat room. Shout out to Johnny Boy saying he might be going away. All right, cross your fingers for Johnny Boy. Keep him in your prayers. Black Lomachenko says Canelo is docking Margarito. Shake my head. At least Canelo wasn't wearing fish. Says Bucks88. Jason Bourne says De La Hoya has a fat face cokehead look. Yeah, he has that bloated. Do people get bloated on cocaine? I thought you did. I thought you got thinner on cocaine. See, I don't know shit about drugs. That's Mr. BDA, Christian BDA for you. Canelo plus judges equals unstoppable, says Jose Lopez. All right, let me just check the Hangouts real quick because I don't know if anybody sent me the messages if they want in. All right, hold on a second. La Evolucion says, let me in, homie. All right, let people in when we have a couple of more people because just one on one is going to be a little stale. Let me just wait for more people to come in. Also, I wanted to say, all right, getting back to this shit real quick, real quick. The reason why I'm doing this little impromptu broadcast is because I want to talk about something that most people don't talk about. Every time there's a bad decision, people talk about we need to. They say that we need to take the judges and make them accountable. We need to keep a log of some sort about every judge and every fucked up decision that they make. Well, I'm here to tell you that I'm not gonna do that because I'm too lazy. That being said, I was reading Ring Magazine or Ring TV rather. I was reading the posts, the community there, and I came across a very interesting comment from Ozzy. And he says, Oscar's influence since becoming a promoter extends to several Nevada judges, so getting rid of Adelaide Bird shouldn't provide Jacobs with too much comfort. There seems to have been several examples of problems with judging in Canelo fights. On top of the two Golovkin fights, there is Judge C.J. Ross, who gave Canelo a draw against Mayweather even after being totally schooled. There is also Judge Levi Martinez's scorecard of 117-111 in the Lara fight in favor of Canelo. Now, the Lara fight was very close. And sometimes when a fight is that close, I don't mind if a guy gives it, like if a guy gives 10 rounds to one particular guy. Because he might just be more, they're close rounds, but he might be throughout the whole fight, might be swayed more by the work that that fighter is doing. So he gives him 10 rounds. It's possible. But we know now from Canelo getting a very favorable scorecard against Lara, against Mayweather, in which a fight in which he didn't win many rounds, getting the draw against Golovkin in the first fight, which Golovkin clearly won, and now he's stepping in against a very dangerous middleweight. You have to wonder that maybe, just maybe, Levi Martinez is going to be giving him a favorable score. As for CJ Ross, well, we're going to get to him. I just want to finish with this post. And he says, Ozzy continues saying, with the other two judges who scored the fight 115-113 and 113-115, he's talking about the Lara fight, to each fighter, and surprising many observers that thought that Lara had beat Canelo. Individually, the scorecard in these four Vegas fights can have totally innocent explanations, but taken together, they certainly seem to suggest a bias towards Canelo by some of the Nevada judges. Dynamite post from this person. I wish I would have written it. And then Doug Fisher comes in and he says, Ross' scorecard in the Mayweather-Canelo fight was perhaps the single worst score of the decade. I did see Canelo edge Lara with body shots, but any wider than 115-113 was highly dubious. So you see Doug Fisher being honest. You see him being the consummate professional that he is. I'm not saying he's always professional. I don't know if there must be instances where he hasn't been unbiased. I don't know any because I haven't read most of his stuff for a bit now. I do try to every time to catch some of his articles, or at least his mailbag, which is highly entertaining, being a follower for 15 years, back when he was in Max Boxing. But it makes sense what Ozzy said. When you take it together, there is a pattern. There is certainly a pattern here of people, of judges favoring Canelo. And I don't think anybody can really doubt it. I don't think anybody can doubt it. Now, I brought up CJ Ross. Well, I went to BoxRec, and I went into the archives, and I wanted to see what other scorecards CJ Ross, what other dubious scorecards he's handed in. Now, looking at most of his fights, or his career rather, as you can see here, it's only when you get to page 4, because he's according to BoxRec, he has judged 463 bouts. When you get to page number 4 or 5, that's when he really started getting more high-profile assignments. If you go back to 2008, that's when he started getting some undercard work for high-profile pay-per-views. But it's really in page 4 when he started coming into his own as a high-profile judge. And then, of course, recently he's been having main events. Daniel Jacobs is going to be fighting Canelo. Daniel Jacobs fought Dimitri Pirog back in 2010. His first loss, rather. He's only lost twice. We all know that. And this is a fight where, if you remember, Dmitry Pirog was schooling Daniel Jacobs. I don't think anybody can deny that. Jacobs was doing well to survive. He was moving, but he looked wholly unprepared for the. Well, I'm not saying unprepared because he looked in shape, but he looked lost in there. I don't think he expected Pirog to put up the type of fight that he was doing. I don't think he expected Pirog to be handling him so easily. So why do I bring this up? CJ Ross, who's going to be judging this fight between Jacobs and Canelo, along with the other judges, had Jacobs ahead 39-37. Now, some people are going to say, all right, BDA, so you're saying that he's a Jacobs fan. And I would counter by saying, don't be a fucking stupid asshole. What I'm saying here is that these judges would favor the house fighter. Jacobs was the house fighter at that point. He was a golden boy fighter. He was the hot prospect. Pirog was a guy with a glossy record that was shipped from overseas to make Daniel Jacobs look good. Whoever brought him up or brought him to the United States to fight Jacobs obviously didn't do a good job of scouting the guy because apparently Pirog was better than they expected and he handled Jacobs with ease before knocking him out in the, what was it, 5th round? But you can see all the judges, Dwayne Ford, CJ Ross, Paul Smith, the usual suspects, they had Jacobs winning the fight. Now, Precise in the chat room says cancer, though. Listen, I agree. Maybe it was the cancer. You got to give props to the cancer. And maybe not so many props to Dmitry Pirog. But the fact remains, I want to focus on the scorecards. All the judges had Jacobs ahead. Based on what? Pirog stunned him. I think it was in the 1st or 2nd round. He was walking him down, completely relaxed, completely unconcerned with what Jacobs was throwing. And then he iced him in the 5th round. So this is the guy that's going to be judging the fight this Saturday. All right. Also, there's that little matter of the rehydration clause, which apparently applies to both fighters. Now, I didn't think much of the rehydration clause. I thought, well, come on. Rehydration, schmishhydration. You get what I'm saying. Who cares? Both guys are big dudes for middleweight. They're not true middleweights. They probably walk around at about 180 pounds or something. So who cares? But then you saw in the 30-day weigh-in that Jacobs was at about 170-something pounds and Canelo was already in the 160s. Now you look at this picture from Jacobs' own Instagram page. It's a fight poster. And you look at the size disparity, the height disparity rather. There's a good, I'm going to say 3 inches that Jacobs has on Canelo. And based on what we heard about the 30-day weigh-in, he's heavier than Canelo. So he's a bigger guy than Canelo. When Canelo fought Chavez, Chavez was bigger, but at least, Chavez is a fucking mongrel when it comes to boxing IQ. Jacobs is no mongrel when it comes to boxing IQ. He has hand speed, he has power, he has reflexes. He's at his peak right now as a fighter, and he's a bigger dude. So that would all be fine and dandy if he was allowed to rehydrate just like he did against Gennady Golovkin. But he's not going to be. This is a man, look at him. Taller, bigger, and he's not going to be allowed to rehydrate more than 10 pounds after the weigh-in, day of the fight. Now, I know people aren't always convinced with one photograph. Hey, it's a poster. Maybe it was photoshopped, whatever. All right, Exhibit B. There's a photo from the little, face-off they did during the press conference. All right, that's not the best angle because it's a low angle, so they both look bigger than they should, or taller rather. Look at this. Jacobs has 2-3 inches on the guy, and he's heavier. So now I'm thinking with the judges, with the weight drain, I'm not feeling this fight anymore. Now, I'm a boxing degenerate scumbag junkie, so I will watch anything that you put in front of me. But the fact remains, this fight smells bad right from the get-go. And I know you guys smell it too. All right? Now, I will say that, Jacob certainly did seem to benefit from his weight against Golovkin. So if I'm Canelo, I would include a weight clause. Because if Jacobs isn't playing fair by being essentially a cruiserweight fighting at middleweight, then why should Canelo give him that advantage? It's a corrupt game and they both have to play it. Okay? So I don't really blame Canelo all that much. But I tell you, I'm not feeling this fight that much. I think it's a fantastic fight if both guys were allowed to do what they want. I still think it's going to be a good fight because I think Jacobs is that good. But what do you want? What are people saying in the chat? Revolucion says deplorable Easter worshipper. What? Caution Boxing says, I thought Ross retired after Mayweather Canelo. No, sorry, Bob. There's still plenty of money to be made. Plenty of trips to the Bahamas and Honolulu, courtesy of Golden Boy Promotions. Guerrero Info says Piro could have given Triple G problems, rangy and with power. Johnny Boy says, I think Canelo's got his hands full, man. I favor him to win, obviously, but I don't think he's running through Danny, to be honest. We'll see on the wane. We're going to have to see in the wane. By the way, fucking, I'm waiting for. Revolution wants a. Okay, Revolution and Precise are willing to come on. Thank you guys. I'm going to send them the invites. I want to get their opinions on this. We are obviously going to do a much more in-depth podcast, but I just want to really talk about what people are saying and get Precise and Revolution's comments regarding some of the things that I'm going to be putting up on the screen. But I still think it's going to be a hell of a fight, guys. Don't get me wrong. It's going to be a hell of a fight. And I don't want to. I hope I'm not dampening anybody's expectations for these fights. I hope if you are hyped for this fight, I hope I'm not being a Debbie Downer, a cunt, in other words. But that's listen. It's boxing, man. What do you want? It's high level boxing nowadays. That's the way they do it. Oh, Johnny Boy, I don't see you on the Hangouts. Could you send me an instant message, and so that way I can send you the invite? Because right now I don't see you on the Hangouts. I don't know where you are. So send me an instant message, please.
Hello.
Who's in there?
Fuck. It's your boy Revolution.
Hey, how you doing, man? Thank you for being on.
Doing good. Doing well.
Listen, I'm just
glad to be on.
Good, yeah, good. Well, I'm glad that you're here. Listen, I don't know if you saw the whole thing, but I was reading some boxing scene comments, and people are saying that this fight has no hype. They're saying that the fight is lacking excitement in terms of promotion. What do you think?
Well, it feels a little flat. It's not like it doesn't have the same hype that the Triple G Canelo fights had. Obviously, it's a good matchup. Don't get me wrong. Like, these are two of the top guys in the division, so boxing fans should be more excited. I feel like, but I don't know. And that was an interesting point you said about maybe DAZN, like the structure of DAZN kind of takes the hype off of fights in general, as opposed to like pay-per-view where there's that build up to the one big event.
Well, I will say that I'd rather pay the 10, 15, 20 bucks that they have on DAZN and watch a whole bunch of sports and other fights and other fighting sports than to pay 70 bucks.
Yeah, no doubt.
To watch a fight that might suck. But you're right. Right now, I think they're still working on the structure. I think they're working on ironing out how they can promote these fights, because they did do that like 24/7 version of DAZN. I didn't catch it, but they are trying to hype the fight. I'm not saying they're not, but what I'm saying is that I don't see the spark that's usually there for a Canelo fight. Now, do you think
what I'm thinking?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, just add to that. What I'm thinking is possibly you got to kind of visualize it as, instead of being handed a flyer for one single fight, you're being handed a flyer for a whole 6 months worth of fights. You're getting like a whole schedule. So it kind of takes a shine off of the individual, and you're looking at, they're kind of trying to sell you, you're going to get 100 fights a year. There's this one, that one, that one. And it's a little bit, it's a little overwhelming to take in all at once. It takes a luster off of each one.
Well, like I said, from a financial standpoint, it could be that. But from a financial standpoint, I don't understand how anybody could be against DAZN.
No, absolutely not.
Look at Mikey Garcia versus Spence. The fight stunk, the undercard stunk, and you had to shell out 60 bucks to watch that. I mean, come on. And he only did 400,000, which I guess for Spence is well, but then again, he did fight a Mexican. I don't think he could have done 400,000 pay-per-view buys if he would have fought Khan or somebody else at that level. But the point remains, the pay-per-view model is dead. I went through I don't know how old you are, but I've been going through the pay-per-view thing for 25 years. It stinks. I don't like it. And I'm glad that something like the Zone can come out along. And you know what? Even if there's no hype, has it really been about the hype for us boxing fans? I mean, I don't know. Like, Wilson, do you care if there's hype or not? Do you care if the mainstream knows about this fight? As long as we get the fight we want to see, and as long as it's an entertaining fight, and we don't have to shell out $70, does it really matter about the hype?
I don't give a fuck because I'm going to watch it either way. I know it's coming up, but I mean, for the sport of boxing, to say it like that, you want the fighters to get paid more. You want people to be successful, so you do want it to kind of catch the mainstream eye. But it is what it is, as precise as it is what it is.
It's true. It's true. And you're absolutely right. And okay, now, first of all, people, Triple JJ in the chat room says, listen to BDA. He's 57, not 57, first of all. As he says, BDA is older than Ortiz. Shut up. Stop making fun of me.
I saw that.
They're making fun of me. But the point is that's just it. I just wanted to point out the whole thing about the hype because that's what people are saying. And listen, I'm a bad barometer of whether something is hyped up or not because I'm not going around watching the Zone previews. I'm not going around on Twitter and seeing what people are saying. I care about the fights. You know that.
Well, one reason why people might be calling out this fight for not having any hype is because it's on DAZN and people with an agenda to take them down. Oh, look, DAZN can't hype their fights. It's Jacobs Canelo, and DAZN can't hype it. What the fuck? It's about Al and it's about pay-per-views. That's the way it is.
You think so? Well,
it could just be DAZN hype and DAZN hate in general.
Well, there's a lot of big shit right now there's a lot of derision and division between all these promotional entities. I'm just glad that we have Canelo and Jacobs taking place. I think Jacobs, it's about time he got a big fight, another big fight rather, because he did get that Golovkin fight. So I think we're going to see a nice, good, interesting fight. We also have Johnny Boy and Precise just hopped on. Guys, thank you for being on.
What's up?
Yeah, good to
Johnny.
have you on board.
Yo,
extra good to have you on board. Thought you were gone.
I thought I was gone too, bro. I thought I was in court for like 5 hours today, dog. So
yeah, you wanna talk about what happened, or do we keep it on the hush hush for now?
I'm gonna keep it. I'll keep it vague because I still probably got to do a couple of months in July. But let me just put it to you this way. I told the cop to go fuck him. I told the cop to go fuck himself and spit right in his face. Let me just put it to you that way.
Wait a minute.
Assault with a bodily fluid. Assault with a bodily fluid.
That's a crime.
Yep,
no,
that's the term.
That's a porn flick title.
Yeah.
I told him, I was like, he was a little fucker too. I was like, you little fucking cocksucker, go fuck your mother, and I spit right in his fucking face. Let me just put it to you that way, BDA. I'll tell you what's going on in a couple.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'll tell you all what's going on when we're in the middle of summer here. But
all right. What a stupid fucking thing! You spit on somebody, well, maybe there's more to the story that you're gonna tell.
Oh, there's way more to the story. There's way more to the story, BDA. Way more.
All right, fantastic. Also, we got, like I said, we got Precise on board, guys. I don't know if you saw what I was talking about regarding the judges and the weight class. I'm starting to get a little disillusioned with the fact that we have all these shenanigans going on. Let me ask you right up front. Let's put all of the cards on the deck here. If Canelo beats Daniel Jacobs, are we gonna give him credit? Come on.
It's another nice win. It's not the biggest thing in the world. It doesn't prove too much, but it's another one. It's a nice one to have.
I'll give him credit if he beats the fuck out of Jacobs. You know what I'm saying?
True. Gets that knockout.
I mean, if he goes life and death with him, yeah, it is what it is. I mean, Danny Jacobs is a good fighter. I'm not gonna, you know what I'm saying? If he fucking ekes out a close decision or something, whatever. But if he goes in there and fucking rips Jacobs' face off, then that's a difference. Then yeah, you got to give him some props, in my opinion.
I mean, even this version of Jacobs is one of the best opponents he will have fought, right? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
So
true, yeah.
So it's a good win, but I don't think it's the same. Obviously, we know it's not going to be the same Jacobs that Triple G fought, right?
Yeah.
Nah.
Possibly not, because
So he
again,
deserves credit, but with proceed with caution.
yeah,
He
because
has
look,
been on a nice roll. We got Jacobs has been on a nice roll though. He got a little momentum, so
I thought
he's
he
got.
lost his last fight, like
Are you?
To
clearly lost that fight.
Derevyanchenko.
No, sorry, maybe it wasn't his last fight. The
Zaleski,
Polish
you talking
guy.
about?
Yeah, Sulensky. Yeah, like when I watched it live, I thought Sulensky eked it out, but then I watched it again, and he outboxed him, man. He schooled Jacobs. Like he wasn't landing powerful blows, but he was landing cleanly, and he was embarrassing Danny, man.
I only watched that Selecki fight the one time. I remember I thought it was real close. I thought he kind of got saved by the bell when he knocked him down in the 12th there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But it was a close
Yeah, but
fight.
you still gotta win 7 rounds. If you just get one knockdown, you still
No,
gotta win 7 rounds. You
yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah, true. Like I say, I only watched that fight the once. When it was
No, I
on.
mean like the
Yeah.
commentary was really misleading, man. I mean, Sulensky would land like 3, 4 shots, then he would answer with one big one, and that's all that they noticed. And like I sat there and counted, and some of the rounds, Sulensky was outlanding him like 3-1. Some of the rounds, not all of the rounds, but I thought he won clearly, man. So I don't know. Like going into this, to me, it seems like Danny has slowed down and he's been fighting very good opposition, tough fights, and I think it's finally catching up with him and the weight and everything else.
Oh, BDA, I wanted to say one thing real quick because I missed the last couple of shows. See, not now I'm a little bit more sold on Progress. That's what I needed to see from him, some shit like that.
All right, hold on.
Now I'm kind of
Yeah,
sold
okay.
on him.
Yeah, but I mean, we wanna move on a little bit from that, but
Just
He's
because
wanted to
pulling a
throw that in there.
Gonzalo.
yeah, you're pulling a Gonzalo, man. What the hell?
my bad. Just throwing that in there. Just throwing
No,
that
it's
in
okay.
there.
It's okay. Yeah, I just wanted to keep like it came out of nowhere, the whole Prograis thing. Well, we'll get to Prograis because we are going to be talking about Baranchik versus Taylor's going to be taking place in 2-3 weeks, I believe. So we're going to get your take on that, Johnny boy. Don't worry about it. I got you covered. Or actually,
Yo, but I'm saying Estrada pound for pound. That's what I'm saying.
all right. Now hold on a second here. I want to get back to the whole Suleki thing and Jacobs because that fight, Suleki was landing some good shots on Jacobs. He just wasn't moving him with any of them. Dervyachenko, on the other hand, I don't think he won as many rounds as Suleki did against Jacobs, but he did keep much more menace throughout the 12 rounds. And I think if anybody compares better to Canelo, it is Dervyachenko. And he was catching Jacobs with some good overhand rights. So I think maybe that's a punch that Canelo can work off. But guys, do you think Canelo's gonna try to walk Jacobs down?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. He's gonna
He
go to the
he
body.
will have no choice. He'll have no choice because Jacobs is gonna move, I think.
Yeah, he's got to come forward, VDA, because Jacobs is the taller, rangier guy, so he's got to come forward. I mean,
Hmm.
And Zelensky, from what I saw, hurt Danny like 2 or 3 times. It wasn't like, he hurt him bad, but he had his feet doing some funny things in there, man. With the right hand, was landing all night, man. It's not a good look going against Canelo.
Yeah, I'd have to rewatch that fight because I don't. I've only watched it twice, and I remember we did watch it live here at BDA when it happened. But I don't know. I'd have to rewatch the fight. I don't remember Suleki's or Sulensky. I don't know how you spell the name, but I mean pronounce it. But I don't remember him schooling Jacobs. Again, I'd have to rewatch the fight. But even if he did school him, we have to look at this from this objective point of view. Whereas Suleki's doesn't fit the Canelo mold. Suleski is a tall guy, seemed taller than Jacobs anyway. He throws more straight shots, whereas Canelo is much more of a stocky power puncher. So I don't know what we can glean from that fight other than the fact that Jacobs can be set up for some shots by a guy who knows what he's doing. What do you guys think? Do you think do you think that if Canelo fights him from the outside, he gets schooled, weight clause or no weight clause? Hey, buddy.
Canelo
He
gets,
can't fight him.
yeah, yeah.
No, he can't fight him from the outside because he's just so much shorter and his shorter arms. I mean, like he could do like what Pacquiao does, right? He could stand outside or out of range and then jump into mid range.
Hmm.
Or he can't fight him. I mean, he could, but it'd be stupid, right? Because he's gonna have to walk. Whatever he does, man, he's gonna have to walk through fire if Jacobs is smart. So, yeah, I don't think that would be the best thing to do.
So,
Mid-range, I think, is what he wants to do. Close the distance.
so we're expecting a good fight then, good competitive fight.
I think it's a real good fight. Like I said in the chat, bro. I don't think Canelo's just gonna roll right over him. I think he's in for. I obviously favor Canelo to win, but I don't think he's just gonna, come in there and fucking cream Jacobs. I think he's gonna have a tough fight, bro. To be honest with you.
Hmm. Yeah, I expect that too, man. I expect a tougher fight than expected for Canelo. The only thing, again, like I said, Jacobs is up against it right now. Not only in Canelo, who really is at the peak of his powers right now, but he's got the judges to contend against, and he's got that weight class. That's the
Yeah.
thing that I'm more interested than anything else in, because we all know about the judges and all that, but the weight classes, how are we gonna have to wait until the weigh to really determine whether Jacob is gonna show up and fight or just survive? What do you guys think? How do you guys think he's gonna look in the weigh?
I don't know. I think the difference really is Canelo's a lot more dense. You know,
Right.
I think Jacobs, he's got the height. He is muscular, but not being able to rehydrate. I mean, I'm no fucking doctor, but if he's not rehydrated, he's gonna be a little skinnier. Body's gonna be a little bit weaker, and I think that's how Canelo's gonna go for the knockout.
Now they didn't say how much Jacobs weighed in the day of the fight against Golovkin, right? He refused to weigh in, if I remember correctly.
Rumors said it
I didn't hear that.
184.
But based on what?
That
Was he actually weighed that day, or
it. This is. I heard the Fight Journal. He was like he's one of the journalists. He's always on the scene. He was talking to someone in Jacob's camp, and they told him 184.
jeez, that's a fucking big dude right there, man. That's a cruiserweight, and that's the thing. Like I mentioned, 30-day weigh-in, he was at about 170 something pounds, which means he has to lose about 15 something pounds before Friday. For a guy that's in his 30s, early 30s, that might be easy. It might not. Things can change overnight for a fighter. If we had to make predictions, fuck predictions for the fights, just predictions for the weigh-in. The fact that he's got Chris Algieri, even though Precise, I know you don't think highly of him as a nutritionist, but do you guys think Daniel Jacobs shows up looking good in the weigh-in, or you think he's gonna show up like Conor McGregor, looking like a crackhead?
Oh, he's gonna be
Algeri's a fluffer, man.
Ooh,
Hey, wait a
he's
minute!
gonna
Don't
show-
disparage.
He's gonna show up looking like fucking what's his face? He's gonna show up looking like fucking one of them crackheads from fucking Boys in the Hood, bro.
He's
Skinny
gonna
as
show
fuck.
up. Yeah, he's gonna look like Bubbles from The Wire. Listen,
Yeah.
first of all, Precise, I denounce you criticizing fluffers. It's a job just like anything else. People have to earn their bread. So I don't appreciate that type of comment. All right, for those of
I was giving
us,
him credit.
shut up. For those of us that had to go up that ladder in the industry, I don't appreciate that comment. But it's. I mean, what do you think? Do you think Precise? If you had to make a prediction, I know we're just speculating, shooting the shit. What do you think? How do you think he's gonna look at the weigh-in?
Like he always does, drained and weak. And I'm not saying he's gonna be like useless in the ring at all. He just won't have the same punch resistance or stamina that he did with Golovkin. And when he finally stops to trade like he did with Triple G, Canelo's shots are gonna tell more. Even though I think most of us would agree Triple G hits harder. Actually, that's what I think. So I'm not saying like Canelo just rolls over him. But something that maybe initially was, a tough fought 7-5, 8-4 UD for Canelo is going to become a TKO or late, I think. Because of the fact that Jacobs doesn't have all the privileges he did against Triple G, basically.
Mhm.
And one last thing, I didn't know there was a ladder for fluffers.
Well, it's not a ladder of fluff first. It's a ladder up to bigger, better things. No pun
BDA,
intended.
I got a question real quick, not to
Go
change the
ahead.
subject not to change the subject again. But you couldn't see me in the hangouts though?
No, because it's filled with names. When Bucho sent the invites, all the last names that got received the invites end up at the top. And so I'm scrolling down, and I didn't see you. I still don't see. Oh, well, now I see you when you sent the message. But anyway, no, I didn't see you when I started the podcast.
Oh, what the fuck? I was gonna say what the fuck, Butcher? You thought I was going to the can, so you took me off the list, huh?
Oh, but yeah, that's the only thing. If I don't see you on Hangout, just send me a message and boom, you'll be there. But it's
Yeah,
just something.
my bad. Not to change subjects, BDA.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So yeah, just I mean, I'm pretty sure people in the chat room are thinking, all right, what's BDA's hang up with the fucking weight? But I think it's a pertinent issue coming into this fight. As for the judges, I mean, come on, this fucking CJ Ross had Daniel Jacobs winning the fight against Pirog. Now, guys, tell me I'm not crazy. Was Jacobs?
She's coming
winning
out
the
of
fucking-
retirement. CJ Ross is coming out of retirement. After the fucking the Canelo Floyd draw,
right?
she was just like shunned. And she
Oh,
was
it's a
gone. You were
she.
misgendering her, by the way. Yeah, you
Yeah.
were misgendering her. God damn it.
Well, no, wait a minute. Maybe
Not right.
maybe he's changed genders, and I'm actually the one that's correct.
That's how she got the boxing license.
Exactly.
She became he. Now it's new CJ Ross. And
New
yeah,
CJ Ross.
there it is.
But that's the thing.
And
What I'm saying.
she's coming out of retirement to fuck over Jacobs if need be. I don't even think he's going to make it to 12.
That's right. It's like Pompey. When they needed him to get rid of Caesar, they brought him out of retirement. That's what they're doing with CJ Ross. He, she, whatever the fuck she is.
Imagine if it's her and Adelaide Bird
Oh.
and somebody else. Because I read somewhere that Adelaide Bird was in the mix.
Yeah.
She was on the
That's
table.
a rumor.
So.
Did you say he
Who
was
else?
on the table?
Who?
You said you referred to Adelaide Bird as he.
Well, yeah. You seen the bitch?
I have
Jesus
indeed.
Christ. Robert Bird. She's married to the ref, Robert Bird, right?
Yeah. No, I bet you they don't fuck.
Wow.
They just fuck
Yeah.
over fighters, but they don't fuck each other.
They just fucking count money. Oscar's
Yeah.
money.
Yeah. A lot of money from that cocaine trade. Oh shit, did I say that a lot? Listen, the point is this. I'm hung up on the judges because I remember when we were doing the podcast for the first Triple G Canelo fight, and everybody in the chat room, everybody in the message boards, all over the place, they were all saying Triple G cannot win this on the scorecards. And it was one of the few times where everybody had it right. It was common sense. Triple G is not getting the decision on this fight. And he didn't get the decision either in the second fight, even though it was a little bit closer. So now I'm thinking, are they going to give, if Jacobs wins this fight, well, forget about winning. Let's say he makes it at least close. Can he even win this fight on the cards? Are we going to be, are you guys certain that this is going to be another win for Canelo on the scorecards?
Of course. Yeah. There's no way Jacobs could win 8 rounds and he's gonna lose, a white decision. Like that's just how bad boxing is right now.
Jeez.
I mean, we also what Kovalev did to Andre Ward, right?
Right.
Like that was as clear a victory as you
God.
could have had. You know what I mean? So you think they're gonna fucking rob Canelo or sorry, not give him a decision? No fucking way.
Yeah, man.
No way.
Yeah,
especially with like this deal he signed and he's essentially carrying the zone on his shoulders. Well, he's not the only one, but come on.
And
No way.
not to mention, I mean, this is two different places and networks and what have you, but Vosdick and Stevenson, bro, he was getting set up to get fucking ganked on the cards too, right? So, but remember, there's an Eastern European agenda, of course, So.
Yeah. Yeah, that old Eastern European agenda. By the way, did you guys see that HBO was going to be doing a mini series, or not a mini series? I think it's a mini TV movie, whatever the fuck they call it nowadays, on Chernobyl. And I'm thinking, why now? And why on that shit? Now that amidst all this whole Russian collusion thing, they bring up a Russian movie about that. And I'm thinking, when are they going to make a movie about Tuskegee? When they injected all those black people with syphilis. They didn't tell them. When are they going to make a movie? But when is HBO going to make a movie
They
about
got a
that?
bunch of movies about that, man.
Nah, I want an HBO movie. High production, Game of Thrones budget.
Who's farting?
Yeah, who the fuck's... Johnny Boy, are you farting or are you...
No, that was my bed squeak or my chair squeaking.
That was a Chernobyl level fart right there. Listen, the point is this. Yeah, you brought up that whole thing about Russian collusion. That's why I brought up Chernobyl. But the point remains, I'm a hopeless optimist, and I'm thinking somewhere down the line there's going to be justice in boxing. Somewhere down the line, maybe Golden Boy, Oscar the Lawyer says, you know what? We don't have that many fights to make with Canelo. Let's give this fight a fair. Let's give both guys a fair share. Whoever wins fair and square, or worst case scenario, make it a draw. That way we can have a rematch or something. But let's not give it to Canelo, otherwise it's too obvious. But they've already done it a bunch of times with Mayweather when he got a draw on when CJ Ross gave him a draw. When one judge gave him 117, 111 on the scorecard against Lara. When the judges gave it a draw against Golovkin, the rematch Golovkin. I mean, how many fucking times are we gonna be seeing this? How many fucking times are we gonna be fooled?
How many fucking
Yeah.
times have we seen it with Floyd? Like every single goddamn fight. Not to say that Floyd lost all these fights, but he had guys taking 4 rounds off of him, and it was 120, 108. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's true, bro. I mean, even a lot of the fights like that Floyd lost, the scorecards were always fucking wide, 119, 109, shit like that, like across the board.
He had him.
Berto was taking rounds from Floyd, man. Like Berto was legit taking rounds from him. And what was the final scorecard? 120, I think, 108.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's why sometimes I'm wondering. The only reason I'm watching this fight is because I want to see the actual fight play out. But when something's taken away from it when the decision is not even fair. And how do you if I don't really care all that much, but because I'm trying to get away a little bit from the boxing thing emotionally, but for the fighter, how must it feel that you put it all on the line, you think you won, and then all of a sudden, whoops, nope, sorry, fuck you, no decision for
You
you.
know what I do, BDA? This is what I do, bro. I don't give a fuck. Like, if I was around to see it, which is like late 90s to now, you know what I'm saying? If I was around to see it, I don't give a fuck what the history books say. I go off of what I saw. You know what I mean?
Good point. Good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
These
That's the best you can
days,
do.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well,
No, go
like
ahead.
these days, if the main event goes 12 rounds and they're about to read the cards, I just turn it off and, I read in the morning who won the fight. I'm just like, I'm just so disappointed, like when the fight is close or something and you already know who's gonna win because there's a clear A side, but you're still sitting there anticipating, thinking, oh, maybe they'll give it to the other guy.
Right.
Just these days, I just say fuck it, man. I don't even wait for them to read the decision. I just go to sleep.
Man, I'll tell you what, bro. I even got fucking nervous with Pacquiao and Broner, dog, because two of them guys had it fucking 8-4. I'm like, what 4 fucking rounds did you give to Broner?
Yeah,
You
Yeah, that's
know,
a
that's a good one.
disgraceful one too.
The one I remember I called, when Golovkin Canelo won when they read the scorecards, I was like, yeah, it's gonna. When they said it was a draw, I was like, yep. I wasn't even surprised. Or when they called it a draw against Fury Wilder, that was another one where I wasn't even surprised. I knew just 2 knockdowns, that's enough for a draw right there. And
I was surprised, bro. I thought they were gonna give it to Wilder. I was shocked it was a draw.
yeah, so did I. Precise. That's exactly what I thought. I'm like, they're really gonna fuck Fury and give it to Wilder. That's what I thought.
Yeah, we all dodged a bullet with that one. Wow, should be thankful.
That's a good point. That's a good point. People in the chat room are saying that again with Mayweather. They're saying Mayweather's lost 5 fights. Wait, what? People are saying Maidana, Castillo, De La Hoya, and I missed the other two. Oh well, people are saying that he lost the 2 Maidana fights. Listen, I don't want to go down Mayweather road. Suffice to say that boxing is a dirty sport. Sometimes you do wonder why you watch it. Again, I watch it for like Johnny Boy said, if you can say you saw the fights happening live and you saw the actual fight, all right. But like Precise also made a good point. Watch the fight and then just go to sleep. Don't stay up 1 minute more than you have to late at night just to read a bullshit decision. I'm still looking forward to the fight. Don't get me wrong.
I don't know, but that could be part of like the appeal of watching it live too. Like, oh, I was there when they fucking robbed Triple G in the first fight. Like, I witnessed it and I was pissed. There's a little bit of excitement to that,
That's a good point. That's a good point.
in
That's
a masochistic kind of way.
Yeah, that's a good.
I know you
That's
know
a good.
about that.
Now wait a minute. Hold on. What are you trying to imply? The
Anyway.
point is this. The point is this. Is that watching boxing for so long, I like boxing, but this is the reason why I don't like to get into combat with other channels that aren't real boxing fans, because they're not real boxing fans and they love the controversy. They love the outside. I don't know if you guys heard what I was talking about with Russell Jr. and Santa Cruz. They're going back and forth about you're avoiding me, no, you're avoiding me, and I'm thinking that shit I cannot stand it. It's bad enough to get bad decisions. It's bad enough to have these fighters, the A sides, always having asterisks next to the big wins. I do not need the aggravation of boxing. It's been a long way. It's been that way for a long time for me. I don't know about you guys, but the big drama getting a little bit boring.
The ducking talk just aggravates me. I could handle a little bit, and I'll chip in here and there, but it gets to a point where like fighters' resumes are built on who ducked them. You know what I mean? And it's just like,
Right.
fuck.
Well, I was even getting some fucking people saying, well, oh yeah, why you hating on Canelo because of what I said about the way. Listen, you can say I'm a hater. You can say, oh, I'm not a real Mexican or whatever the fuck that means. I don't care what you say. At least address the fact that the judges are going to be in Canelo's favor and the fact that there's this weight clause that is going to affect Jacobs. Now, that one, I'm more lenient towards Canelo, but the judges and the weight thing put together, come on, you have to admit, whether I'm a fake Mexican or not, whether I'm a fluffer, you have to admit things are a little fishy here. A little fishy.
Whew. There was two Mexican cats I had court with today, bro. They fucking they beat some guy to a pulp and cracked his skull. He had to fight for life,
Oh,
and the mother was in custody too because she was texting the dude a bunch of shit like my two boys are gonna come fuck you up and
courtroom drama. That's what
Oh
it's all
yeah.
about.
Dun dun dun. Dun,
Oh,
The
dun,
fuck.
wall,
dun.
the wall just got higher.
Yo, I got a point to make.
Go ahead.
I got a point to make about the Canelo-Jacobs shit.
Yes.
Now, this
please.
is kind of a unique way to watch, to predict boxing or look into it or research it.
Mhm.
But I actually looked up the zodiac signs for Canelo and Jacobs, and I looked into the horoscopes for this week.
Okay.
And what I see is Canelo is in a position to make some power moves and make some good money, clearly. But Jacobs, this shocked me. He is on course for a quote career catastrophe.
Oh, come on, man. What kind of fairy dust you've been
Stars are
snorting?
not aligning for him, it looks like, in that sense. And this is where it all seals it in for me. I don't even believe in astrology, but it comes all back around with this. Tell me what Canelo Alvarez's zodiac sign is. Take a guess.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and
Faggot.
say Did
Cancer.
you just-
He's a Cancer.
Okay.
Oh.
He's a fucking Cancer.
Oh, I
You
get
may
what
as
you're
well
saying.
Put all your money. Put
Uh,
all your money on Canelo.
Oh,
I
wait a
got
minute,
the
wait a
best zodiac. I got the best zodiac sign by a mile. I got the fucking bull. They call me Mule for a reason. You know what
All right.
I'm
He has to
Johnny
make
the
it dirty.
Bull. Hey.
Let me tell you something, Revolucion. Are you saying Jacobs has to douse his gloves with chemo in order to get a chance to win this fight? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know. Maybe they could do that. Maybe they could do that in the corner, instead of the grease on the eyebrows and under the eyes.
Put
Little chemo on the face.
Yeah, but douse him with chemo. Yeah.
Or put some chemo in a goddamn spray bottle. They like to mist the fighters now and again.
Hey, what the hell? What the hell is chemo anyway? It's like it's a mix of it's a cocktail of chemicals, right? Like a bunch of drugs that just fuck you up.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, yeah,
it's
bro.
two parts gin, 1 part triple sec.
That's an old
No.
wife still right there. But
No, I think it's radiation, man. They're gonna have a ray gun on him.
Yeah, he's really gonna be looking like a fucking crackhead then.
Oh God.
Come on. Listen, we got to stop this cancer call because the Bay Area, California doesn't find this funny. Even though Bay Area, you should know that this show, we push the limit when it comes to comedy. So if you don't like it, I don't know what to tell you, man. Sorry. By the way, Bay Area, California
bad,
is a
so
guy,
sad.
right? Bay Area, California is a guy. Who was the one that said that she was a woman, but everybody was doubting? There was a poster in the chat room.
Sonia Dumas.
Sonia Dumas. Yes, thank you, Revolution.
Sonia
Shout out.
dumbass.
Oh, that
Oh,
dude just came on my video the other day and was talking a whole bunch of shit. It was right after I got the DUI, and I was like, "Go fuck yourself, bro," and I just deleted the shit.
yeah. Sometimes you can't spend too much time on these people. But listen, the point is this: when we're talking about Jacobs and Canelo, you guys were okay. So going back to the fucking horoscope. So Cancer. Now, in terms of the Cancer sign, what does that represent in terms of the actual fight? Does he have a fiery demeanor like a lion or a scorpion, or what does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know off the head the fucking typical traits for each zodiac sign. I just literally just Googled, like, I looked up their shit. Oh, and Jacobs is an Aquarius, by the way, so that's pretty a fucking soft sign. I think it's water, right?
Yeah, it's water. It's chemo. It's chemo with water. No, but what is that? What is that aqua? What is that? What are
Is he
the
a fish? No, it's a
no? But
Pisces.
what are the effects? What are the characteristics of somebody that's an
It means
aqua?
it means he grows on you like cancer.
Oh, okay. You know what? I'm shutting this down. I don't like this.
Wait, okay. No, never mind.
Hey, you know what? That's why I had made the joke the other day about what's his name, Miller. He was taking that drug, and apparently one of those drugs that he was taking actually increases the rate of cancer. And I said, oh, one of these days he's gonna get titty cancer, and he was gonna have to chop him off like Angelina Jolie. And Bucho didn't like that joke. He told me that we shouldn't be saying those type of jokes. So I guess we gotta watch ourselves here at BDA, or else Bucho and the BDA board of directors are gonna censor us.
Well, them titties came off. It's like the Twin Towers falling, man.
yo,
That was a disaster.
BDA, they're gonna cut his titties off like the house that Jack built. BDA.
Oh, you saw that movie finally?
Yeah. Hey,
That's
no,
a
I
good-
was the first one who told you I seen it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I thought it was.
course.
I thought it was. What's his talk? Was it John Gonzalez who had seen it? I guess he hasn't seen it, but you saw the house that Jack built. That's good. It's a good movie. When he goes to buy when he goes to buy those full
Yo,
metal jacket. What?
I'm sorry. The Punisher says Canelo is gonna dish out some Canelo therapy on
Okay, come on. Jose Lopez says enough of the cancer talk. Yeah, I think we should move on because I think it's people are gonna start writing to us and they're gonna start writing to us and
All
saying
right, all
fuck you, fuck you.
Here, wait.
Hey,
We could turn it. I could turn it into something good, though. I can turn it into something good. Did you guys hear, or did you see like the video of the press conference where Canelo, he says his shit, and then Jacobs, he says his shit, and everyone's like, laughing and kind of booing him, and he's like, well, let me tell you, when I was in the hospital and I couldn't stand up, and they were telling me I had a month to live, I didn't think I was gonna get this shot, like, and he started getting inspirational, and the fucking whole crowd, even Canelo's posse, everybody just started applauding him, and like it was a
they're
real
being
feel good
polite.
moment.
They're being polite.
Yeah, but it could be a little boost of confidence,
Canelo's over here. I got real motivated when my waiter didn't bring me that extra slab of meat that I wanted. You heard? And Jacobs was like, bitch, I beat I wouldn't even mind seeing Danny Jacobs whip his ass. I just don't think it's going to happen, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's a point. That's the point.
I hate those fucking moments where people applaud because it's appropriate. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't stand it.
Yeah, that would have been
Oh, what
fun.
do we do, guys? Clap, everybody! Clap! Awkward! Clap!
Yo, okay.
It would have been funny. It would have been
it's
funny
true.
if he would have said, "I beat cancer," and nobody claps. That would have been funny. Then he's just standing there waiting for the 1, 2, 3, no claps. Oh shit, I fucked up. And people just look at him like,
People be like, Ricardo Cancer? Who the fuck? Some bum?
yeah, some
Who-
boxer.
who-
When I beat
the
cancer.
condition. Oh shit. Oh.
First I beat cancer. Now I'm going to beat the can.
Oh yeah, you're gonna beat the can. Yeah. Hey, listen, if Jacobs can beat AIDS, then I'll respect him. For the most part, come on.
Ooh.
Like Triple JJ in the chat room says, it's pretentious most of the time. It's true because they're clapping because they have to clap. Listen, we're glad you got through cancer. I think most people know somebody that has gone through cancer. It's no joke, even though we're making light of it because, it's an uncomfortable subject and we try to keep it light here, BDA. But the point is, what are people supposed to do when somebody says, I beat cancer? Not clap? Tell him to go fuck himself? Tell him he should have died? I mean, come on. It's like Precise said, it's pretentious. You can see right through the bullshit, and I don't like it.
Oh, you beat cancer? What a worthless piece of shit you are. Yeah.
Well, I'm not saying. I'm not
You
saying
know,
people
I
should.
mean, I'm saying, what are you going to say? Go fuck themselves? Like you said.
Boo!
Yeah,
Goody
yeah.
two shoes. Boo!
It's
But the,
good for like promoting maybe one fight, maybe two fights, but this shit's old by now. It's like, okay, you beat cancer, and when was that? In like 2012 or something? Come on, man.
yeah,
You know,
and he didn't even
it's
do
like
anything.
with Golovkin and his brothers dying. They used that for a couple of fights, and then they moved on to something else. You know what I mean? It's like shit gets old.
Or what's his name? Keith Thurman and Ben Getty. That's the one that
Oh,
keep.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh, fuck. Yeah, dude,
every.
you've been crying about that guy since you were 12. Like, fucking move on, Thurman. You fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Look, the guy died. Forget about it. What are you gonna keep bringing him up? Because you know why? Because this is what I hate. They keep bringing up Ben Getty because they want to see him cry. Like there was another reporter, female reporter, I forget one. You know, they all have big tits and long hair, and she was bringing up Ben Getty out of nowhere because she went to see Keith Thurman cry. And I'm thinking, you fucking cunt, you know exactly what you're doing. You just want to see this grown man shedding tears, crying like a baby in front of the camera. I mean, this is
Keith
this
Thurman.
is.
Keith Thurman fucking drives me crazy, bro. Every time they ask him like a serious fucking question, it turns into, well, when I was 13 and I first started getting hair on my balls, Ben Getty fucking told me this back in 1996. Like, I don't give a fuck, dog.
Mhm.
Just answer the fucking question, Thurman. You fucking lisp mouth cocksucker.
Oh, wait a minute. Is that necessary? That type of language?
Sorry, BK.
That's okay.
Sorry.
As long as you learn. Now listen, but it's a good point. I mean, they try to bring him up just to, like you said, or he brings it up. Well, actually, I haven't seen that many interviews with the guy, but I don't remember him bringing Ben Getty up. But when it's other people bringing him up just to see him cry, I'm thinking, all right, you're a bunch of vultures, man. Just to get an emotion out of the guy for the cameras. Then again, it would be funny if Keith Thurman is actually faking it, faking those tears. Then both of them can go fuck themselves. But I don't think he's doing that. I don't think he's that good an actor. Otherwise, he wouldn't be boxing right now. By the way, Bay Area, California, the chat says you guys are so negative. What are we saying? What are we saying that's negative? We're speaking truth to power here, trying to be as honest towards you as we are with each other and with ourselves, right, guys?
Yeah, tell him to
Yeah.
pop a Xanax and shut up.
And then send some to me.
Listen, the point about boxing is the world is a dark place, and you have to make fun of the horrible stuff out there. Otherwise, you go crazy. You want us to be the type of people that just bring up the negative stuff, and we start walling. What's the word I'm looking for? Wallowing in negativity and how bad the world can be. Fuck that. We want to try to entertain people, and that's what we're doing here. All right. We don't mean half the shit we say. So, well, at least I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for everybody else, but. Moving on, sticking to the boxing rather. Don't want to go too much into the Canelo-Jacobs fight because we are going to be getting predictions in the next couple of episodes. But with everything we've said so far, the undercard is another thing that seems to be lacking for this. Then again, they're paying. Anybody know how much they're paying Canelo for this fight? Can we look it up? Hold on a second.
Enough to buy better pajamas, I hope.
Did you see that shit, man? What the fuck?
Oh,
Those
this
fucking
guy.
pajamas probably cost like two grand or something.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
bet. I bet. And they were probably made for 15. No, not even that. In Malaysia or something. Or I'm looking for the odd. Okay, I'm seeing the odds, which are Canelo's has opened as a 3-1 favorite, apparently, close to 4-1 favorite. So it means you need to bet $357 to win 100. Those odds seem pretty favorable towards him. I think they should be a little tighter than that. What do you guys think?
I was really looking at those odds earlier. I was really thinking a lot about those odds. I don't know. This might be a safe bet.
Oh, come on. Of course he wins.
I mean, of course, yeah, but
What's then you're gonna do? Knock
said-
him out? You couldn't knock out
What'd you say?
Zelensky.
exactly.
What'd you say? What'd you say? 3-1, BDA?
Yeah, apparently, something like that.
That's a pretty safe bet.
Yeah, I agree.
I think they're trying
Wasn't
to
he
get people to bet on
I'm so-
Jacobs.
Hmm.
Well, you know what?
Yeah,
I don't want.
wasn't Canelo the underdog on the second Triple G fight?
Oh,
Wasn't
I don't
Triple G
remember
the
that.
favorite on the second?
I don't remember
Yeah,
that.
Don't remember
slightly, just barely,
Yeah.
just barely. Yeah.
Jeez.
by a cancer, by one cancer.
By one country, yeah. By the way, Pete in the chat room had said that he actually said that we should be making more of a big deal regarding the weight class, but he also comes back and informs us that Jacob is going to be making 15 million and Alvarez is going to be making a whopping 30 million. God damn, that's a lot of money.
It's enough to cover my court fees. I'll take some of that.
Oh man. For reference, according to a Bloody Elbow article, it says Jacobs' last purse was in the neighborhood of 1.6 million for his win over Sergey Devrichenko. In his lone pay-per-view main event appearance against Gennady Golovkin, his official purse was 1.75 million before factoring in any pay-per-view cut. So he's making.
Retirement money. This is retirement money for him.
It certainly is, isn't it? Because man, he's making 13 million, at least 13 million more than he did in his biggest payday. From 1 mil to 15 mil. Then of course he has to pay
What's
taxes.
Jacobs?
What's that?
What's Jacobs? 32, 33, something like that?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so he'll probably have a few more if he's getting some fucking scuttle like that, he's gonna have a couple more fights and call it, I would imagine. Shit. 2, 3, 4, I don't know.
Well, I tell you what, with the zone, he can certainly look forward to more paydays. I don't think 15 mil, but if he gets a rematch against Golovkin or he gets a fight against Andrade or Billy Joe Saunders, you name him. I mean, top name at middleweight, he can make around 5 mil minimum. It's a pretty good score if he keeps on
Oh
going.
yeah.
And by the way, we obviously mentioned 15 mil, but he has to pay taxes in the United States. He has to pay his trainer, his manager, promoter. I don't even know if he has a promoter, but. And now, how much money do you think he's going to be paying Chris Algieri for this? What do you think the percentage is?
Nothing.
2%? Nothing.
Nice little kiss.
Oh, we got Recognize on the line. Recognize. Good to have you on board, man.
What's going on, gentlemen?
Not much, not much. We're just talking about Canelo and his weird pajamas. I'm gonna put the picture up again on the screen there.
I saw
Apology.
it earlier.
The apology asked me to put it up, so what apology wants, apology gets, because he's in the intro of the new song we have for BDA when we start the podcast. So,
I like
yeah,
the new intro, man. I was going to tell you. That was pretty interesting, the intro.
you're in there too, man. You're
I
in
know.
there.
No, I'm not cool with that. I don't like that. The
I
fuck
wish
was I talking about?
I don't remember, man. But we were gonna try to fit in.
Homos.
Yeah. Sounds about
Yeah, I'm
right.
not cool with that.
Sounds
Did I
about right.
fucking hear this intro, or was that like a couple days ago when I was in the middle of my shit?
Yeah, that was in the last episode.
Oh yeah, fuck. I'll have to watch it. Go back and watch it.
So why? He's going to get 15 million for that fight?
15 mil, baby.
That's a
15
nice
mil.
payday, man.
It's a nice score. It's a nice little score. But
It's good working with the zone, huh?
absolutely. But now, how much do he has to pay in taxes? By the way.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, first it's Vegas taxes, I'm guessing, right? The fight's in Vegas.
Right.
You figure when he's paying his trainers and whatever other agreements he has that he has to, partnerships that he has to pay, $7.5 million, right? Like maybe 50% of that. Still good. Still a lot of money.
Depends how good his lawyer is, really.
Right. What about his lawyer fees too? Right. Like
No, I'm saying like if your lawyer, if you got a good lawyer, you could get away with not paying all that much in taxes.
Well,
Does Vegas even have it? They don't have an income tax, do they? Vegas doesn't have an income tax.
Well, if you're right about that, that's a great.
Yeah.
That's going to save him a lot of money in his pocket. So
I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure they don't.
Yeah,
I would guess he gets at least 50% or more after paying whatever he has to pay.
He probably just has to get like a LLC registered in Vegas or some shit like that. You know what I mean? Like there's all these loopholes that these people know how to jump through.
if he's getting 15, he'll probably get 8 or 9, bro. Is what it is. I don't know about the taxes and shit, but you know.
As long as his lawyer belongs to a certain religion from the desert that dates back to thousands of years before the common era, I think he's gonna do it right. I think he's gonna do it right. He should contact. If he doesn't, he should contact my attorney, Rayful Shapiro. He'll get him straightened out. By the way, man, recognize. Are you?
Rayful Shapiro.
Yeah, the legendary Rayful Shapiro.
Is it raining in New York or something?
Yeah, is it raining right now?
It sounds that way, right? No, it's I just finished parking my car, so
Yeah, dumping bodies in the Hudson.
yeah, it's the best place. That's the best place to dump them at.
I was gonna ask:
fuck.
is parking the car a euphemism for something else, or?
Yeah, of course it is.
Okay, I don't want to know, man. I don't want to fucking know.
You want me
my-
to add you into this conspiracy?
Yeah, you. Yeah, go ahead, please.
No, I wouldn't do that. I like you guys.
All right, fuck.
I had my lawyer Tom Hagen today, BDA. We're all good. We're all
Mr.
good.
Waltz, Mr. Waltz, I'm half Irish, half German. Well, let me tell you something, my Mick crowd friend. All right, listen. The point is this: we're gonna get some predictions later on, not today, but next show. So I want you guys to think long and hard about who you're picking for this Saturday's fight. It's a 50-50 fight, I think, even with all the bullshit and the weight clause and the judges. So think about those predictions, guys. Wanna have some good predictions?
Did they say who the judges was yet, BDA?
Yes. Let me hold on. Let me
Was
check
it any?
out.
Adelaide Bird, CJ Ross, and whatever his name is, that Cheatham guy.
Yeah, he needs a knockout.
No, but hold on. It's not Bird, right? She hasn't been
Oh
confirmed.
no.
No, I think it's Levi Martinez, CJ Ross, and some other fucker.
Yeah, either way, he needs a knockout, bro. I mean, that's the only way he's gonna win this fight.
Yeah, point blank. He needs a fucking knockout. He needs a
Oh, he
knockout to
needs
get
like
a
a
draw.
12-round destruction, like just beating the shit out of Canelo. I just don't see that happening, man.
Coran Brett says, come with that prediction shit. The fight's rigged. We all know it. Unfortunately, you might be right. But if it turns out to be at least a good fight, I'm satisfied. That's how low my standards are right now when it comes to boxing. Just give me the good fucking fight. In my mind, I make up my own result. I imagine that fucking Michael Buffer announces the red decision, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, BDA. You just got to go off of what you're watching, not what them fugazi ass judges say, bro.
But you know what?
I think I found. I'm sorry. I think I found who the judges in ref are officially.
Oh, I'm all right.
It's Glenn Feldman, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, he's gonna need a real knockout. I'm telling you, bro.
And referee Tony
Weeks.
Oh, he's fucked. He's fucked. He's fucked, dog. He's fucked.
What are those the real judges?
Yeah, no, I'm looking at an article on Boxing Scene.
Oh shit! I thought it was going to be
NSAC
CJ
approves
Ross.
judges for fight. This was on the 24th. This was last Wednesday. This was
Yeah,
from a week ago.
I remember they announced it, but I thought it was going to be CJ Ross and Martinez and some other fucker, because based off of what I was reading from the Ring TV. But anyway, all right. So Steve Weisfeld, Moretti, and who else?
Weisfeld, Moretti, and Connecticut's Glenn Feldman.
Connecticut. Jeez,
oh God,
he's
Glenn
fucked, man.
Feldman.
He's fucked.
Didn't
Jacob is
Moretti have a couple of goofy scorecards back in the day? I can't remember which fights.
Well, I tell you what, next episode, we're going to do some research live, and we're going to look through his scorecards, and we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to get to see whether he's a fucked up promoter or whether he's actually a stand-up guy. Now, we are. Don't worry about it. That's what we do. That's why we got to start the BDA investigation team. All of us here. We put our heads together. I think we can make a pretty decent team coming up with some facts. Some factoids.
I think we will. The problem will be is that we'll probably get shut down.
That's a good point. Yeah, you're gonna be
Did you
coming
know?
out of. Yeah, go ahead.
Did you know that stand-up guy is a boxing term originally?
No kidding.
Yeah,
Oh.
like so many different idioms in the English language come from boxing. So many sayings. You know what it means?
Like the whole chin thing, right?
You don't fall down.
No, it means like the exact opposite of Andre Ward. So like, no,
Yeah, well, that's
seriously.
true. That is true.
But do you know when boxing used to be part wrestling, and then the Marcus of Queensberry rules came
Oh
out, and they
yeah.
said no more wrestling. So the guy that actually went with the rules and fought in accordance to the rule was a stand-up guy, right? Like they say in MMA, stand-up. And the guy
Mm.
that was, just not obeying the rules was, well, a scumbag,
Wow,
It's,
that's
it's
deep.
interesting.
Like Andre Ward.
like Andre Ward. Yeah,
Now,
he's
come
not a
on,
stand-up guy.
come on. That's not. He's a good boy, good
He's a
Christian
come
boy.
from behind kind of guy.
Well, he might be. No, you're a little
Cunt.
Sopranos. What?
It's a cunt.
Yeah,
You
he's
know,
a cunt.
you know,
Yeah.
you
No,
know, Johnny boy. Maybe if you
Well,
spend
hey,
less, Johnny boy, if you spend less time watching TV Land and sucking cock, maybe you'd make twice as Vito does. What do you think about that?
Fucking. Oh, so you need a doctor's note to tell me you don't take it up the ass, huh?
Yeah, all right, so
Funny part is Johnny Boy actually does watch TV Land. He's younger than me.
I don't even know what the fuck TV Land is, bro.
it's where they
He
show
Is that
watched
like
what?
Happy Days and shit.
yeah,
Is that
Happy
what
Days,
Golden
It's like
Girls and
my
all that
dad.
shit?
yeah, the Twilight
Yeah,
Zone,
yo.
all
Cheers.
these great shows.
Shit, I watch it when Married with Children's on that bitch. You best believe I watch now fucking Bundy. But
Now you're acting your age.
what's up?
Hucker,
Now you're acting your age. That's your generation. You always just blow my mind out of the old ass shit you pull out.
Oh
Hucker,
yeah, I'm an old soul in a
Yeah,
young body, bro.
all
I
right.
Yeah.
see that.
Hucker Mustang in the
Anyway,
chat room says Andrew Ward was the dirtiest guy in his era of boxing, and he still hates Triple G too. He left Triple G out of his pound for pound list. The hand history vault says, if I ever meet Ward, I'll make sure to protect my balls. That's good advice right there. I mean, a good tactic. I was thinking about that. That the reason why a lot of people hate Golovkin, especially people of a certain demographic, it's because the guy doesn't talk. He kicks ass in the ring. He doesn't, and he's a street fighter. He used to street fight a lot when he was younger. So I think we all know from experience that usually the guy that barks the loudest is the guy that's the most scared.
gets
And
his
so
ass whipped.
yeah, so I think they're threatened by the fact that this guy is a silent killer, professional, the type of guy that you don't see coming, and by the time you're in a fight with him, it's too late to realize, oh shit, I fucked up. That's my little theory. I think that's why a lot of people hate Triple G.
He's fucking Leon the professional, BDA. He don't say nothing. He just comes up from behind you and shoots you and walks away without saying a fucking word. That's
Exactly,
Golovkin.
exactly. That's what he is, man. And I think people feel threatened. People usually feel threatened by what they want to be something, and when they see somebody being that, and they know they're not that, they get threatened pretty quick, and they can do and say some stupid shit in the process. All right, listen, guys. Thank you for being on board. We're gonna end it, but we are gonna be coming back this week with a proper show where we're just gonna focus on Canelo Jacobs. Fuck. Canelo Jacobs. And I want, we're going to break the fight down. We're going to obviously make some predictions. We're going to take some calls, see what the boxing sphere has to say regarding this fight. And yeah, we'll do a complete workup on that one. All right, guys?
All right, gentlemen.
all right.
All right, fellas.
later.
Good night,
All right, so
friends.
thank you for being on. I always appreciate you guys being on board, making this show entertaining, and the input that you guys gave regarding. I know I was a bit of a stickler regarding the weight issue, but it's really something that interests me, and I wanted to get people's opinion on this because I do respect everybody's opinion in the chat room and in the hangout. So I'm glad we got that covered. I promise I'll try not to bring it up again during the next episode, but you know my promises. Sometimes they don't hold up after a night's thinking or drinking, for that matter. So I want to thank everybody who joined us for this impromptu broadcast. Don't forget, we are going to be back this week with another proper episode. Bucho's going to be with me as well, or he might be hosting it alone. I don't know. Depends on how it goes. Don't forget to check out our podcast on Spreaker and iTunes. You can download them there. Don't forget to check out Twitter, which is what Bucho usually takes care of with some fantastic tweets. And he usually retweets other people's tweets as well. So it's pretty entertaining. You can stay up to date on boxing with that. And just just give a final shout out to everybody that was on the hangout. Want to thank Precise, Recognize, Johnny Boy, and Revolucion. Don't forget you can check out Precise's channel, Carnival, where he talks about meat eating and he rallies against this new wave of vegans and the vegan agenda. Recognize, I think he still does videos as well. Johnny Boy as well. And Revolucion, I don't know if he has a channel, but shout out to Revolucion for joining us and giving us his input. And also, I want to thank everybody that was in the chat room. Hawker Mustang, The Quags, Virtuoso, Box88, Bay Area, California. You know, I was kidding about the fucking thing about if you can't handle the humor on this podcast, go away. Obviously, I'm kidding. Listen, the humor can get a little rough, but that's because, at least from my point of view, my perspective, I'm a sensitive soul, and sometimes I make fun of things because I'm scared of those things. So that's why I make fun of them. That's why I make fun of Butcher all the time, because he scares the fuck out of me, man. He's an abusive fella. I'll tell you that much right now. And I hope he's not listening right now. Otherwise, he's gonna let me have it. I want to give a shout out to Quran Bread, Gypsy Boxing Style. Boxing Style, you gotta come back on the show, man. I don't know what the fuck you're waiting for. Jose Lopez, Hawker Mustang, Eddie, Turlock, Triple JJ, Hamid Saman, Hawker Mustang again, Jason Bourne, Alan Domireki, Guerrero de la Info, Champion Killer, The Punisher. I think Canelo was in there as well. I don't know if I can see him there. Pete Stamas was there as well. Red Glove Militant, shout out to Red Glove. The Hand History Vault, RR1000, John Gonzalez, shout out to John Gonzalez. Apology Man was in there as well. Apology needs to come back on the show as well. What the fuck? Well, thanks a lot, guys. John Gonzalez says, I bet Butcher really does beat up BDA. That's not a joke, man. He's an abusive, he's an abusive drunk. Alright? And I'm not afraid to say it. I'll face the consequences. But people need to know. Alright, so again, guys, thank you for joining us. We'll be back with another episode regarding Canelo and Jacobs. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and hope you do enjoy the fights once we get to them. Have a good night, and we'll see you in the next one, folks. Take it easy.